But, you know, okay. Um, but, you know, you bought what? Fucking...
Shit ton of skins. And quite a few battle passes. Some of which I didn't even finish.
Yeah.
When you're at a family dinner trying to be well-mannered, but Grandpa's dirty jokes are kinda hitting hard. It's Nicolas Cage trying not to laugh, and then he just like busts out full open mouth laughter.
See that shit right there? That's why you absolutely bussin'. What?
A day ago, Zully the Witch uploaded. There's no way to not make this strange. Something. What is it?
Is it the...
There's no way to
the
make
weapons?
this not weird. I don't know. One of the last bosses you fight in Dark Souls 3 is the duo twin princes Lorien and Lothric. Lorien...
Damn. Oh yeah, I've finally made it to the horse skin for the season.
Yeehaw.
If this was a skin that wasn't a part of the battle pass, I would never purchase it. That's a fact.
Makarov, the AK of the pistol world. Seems fair, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like Glock is the AK of the pistol world, but whatever.
I'm willing to listen.
Well, you know what the Makarov is, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, well, like,
I'm more
the
or less
AK's...
wanting to hear his explanation on why that is, if it's possible.
Oh, it's a 10-minute video.
Okay.
I don't know if he's really gonna explain
Yeah.
anything.
Well.
But,
if I were to ask you to name a military firearm that came out of Soviet Russia shortly after the Second World War that was designed to be simple to manufacture and has developed a reputation for being rugged and reliable, despite having really bad iron sights, the first gun to come to mind would probably be an AK. But all of those same attributes also apply to the pistolet Makarov, or as we call it here in the U.S., the Makarov. Makarov, if you prefer. Hello, everyone.
okay, so he's just saying because they were made in the same time, they're inexpensive and easy to manufacture, however, they are reliable. I thought he was saying that it's like the AK of the world because, the AK is known to be, like, the most widely produced gun in the world, and they're, like, dirt cheap in every country you go anywhere relative to, like, any other, assault rifle, quote-unquote,
Yeah.
category. And I was like, yeah, no, I feel like the Glock is definitely way more widely produced and used than a Makarov.
Yeah.
But he meant, like, it's kind of dumb to say that it's the AK of the pistol world because it was built during the same time as the AK by the same guys that made the, like, yeah, you're right, because it was literally built to be the sidearm to the AK, so I guess, yeah, you're right, but, I mean, it really depends on what you mean by the AK of the pistol world.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's a very generic statement that doesn't really explain itself too much. Like,
Yeah. Like, I mean, in the sense that he's talking about, I mean, yeah, you're right, but literally it was made by the same exact government that made the AK for the same exact reasons that they made that gun, like...
yeah. So it's like...
You're right in a sense, but you're wrong in a sense, because the Glock is definitely the AK of the pistol world. Bitches are found everywhere for dirt cheap for all kinds of people, and they're super cheap to make.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say they're super easy to make, but
yeah.
they're cheap to make.
Yeah. Sure.
Because the Makarov is just a blowback pistol with a hammer. You know. But the fucking
Glock. It's more,
yeah.
what, chamber fed?
Well,
Like,
blowback refers to the way that the the action is cycled. So, like, bolt action is another form, you know. So, like, blowback basically what blowback means is the force that's getting pushed back into the shell from the explosive, like from the gunpowder inside of it, operates the slide to move back. A lot of pistols are actually blowback, but I'm pretty sure that the Glock is like a form of short recoil where, like, the barrel as the bullet exits the barrel, the gases that are pushing back tilt the barrel, which unlocks the slide, allowing the slide to move back. With the extra inertia from the barrel tilting, but I'm not exactly sure on that. It could be blowback, but either way, it's striker fired, which is not the same as hammer. Hammer is, you pull the hammer back, you pull the trigger, the hammer gets let go forward, it hits a pin, the pin hits the bullet, whereas striker fire is like, it goes back through a series of like, you rack the slide back, and then like a series of like, springs and like levers and shit move that creates the striker to get put back onto a sear, and then whenever you pull the trigger, the sear drops and the striker goes forward, as opposed to a hammer hitting the striker to make it move forward. So I'm pretty sure striker fired weapons are way more difficult to produce, as far as, you know, like making sure that you don't fuck up the dimensions of the gun, or else it's not going to work. Because literally, if the hammer on your hammer gun doesn't work, you just fucking, I don't know, get a pin and just jam the pin into the back of the gun really hard. You'll shoot the gun, you know.
Yeah. Did not fully know that, but thank you.
Yeah, blowback is like super fucking. Blowback is like the bee's knees of, like, you know, simple.
It's easier to use a blowback gun in quick succession than chamber, or, you know, getting the fucking thing already.
Short recoil.
Yeah.
I don't
Depending,
know
of course.
I'm not sure if it changes anything about fire rate, but it's just a simpler mechanism. Like, yeah, if you make a blowback pistol wrong, you could shoot the slide into your mouth for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could definitely happen.
Suck. Like, you know, the best example I was gonna go for is like a standard like Glock versus a like normal 6-shooter, you know,
like a revolver.
Yeah, because those have the why am I forgetting it? The thing that hits the bullet.
Yeah, they have a hammer. Yeah.
Thank you. It's escaping me. Fuck.
Yeah, well, yeah, strikers are just more difficult to, like, you know, make sure that all the operating parts for the striker work, as opposed to just this swing down and hit bullet go boom.
Yeah.
You know, that's but like blowback is like, oh my god, is it like a simple concept? You don't have to like. Because like most assault rifles are gas operated, where they drill a little tiny hole in the barrel and then they hook a tube up to that and they put a rod inside the tube, and whenever you shoot the bullet goes past that hole, then excess gas that is no longer needed to send that bullet goes into the tube, pushing the rod, and then the rod opens up the bolt. Whereas blowback, it would just, you just hit the back of the bullet, and whatever amount of force the bullet is sending back into your face goes to the bolt. And that's what operates it, and that's why a lot of people don't really want blowback action shit anymore, because if, like I said, if it's not tuned right, then you got shit exploding in your face.
Yeah.
And also, if it's tuned too heavy, if there's too much mass behind the inertia from the bullet, then it's not gonna cycle, and then you basically end up having, you know, the same shooting speed as a bolt action. You don't have to like turn anything, but you're gonna have to rack it every time you want to put another bullet in.
Yeah.
I mean, similar things can happen with, like, gas systems, but usually if you have a problem with, like, gas systems like that, there's a little dial at the end of the, I forget what it's called. I'm just gonna call it the gas tube. They have a specific name for it, but at the end of the gas tube, there's like a little dial that most of them, it's like a flathead screwdriver you stick in there and turn it. And one way is open that bitch up, and the other way is that's too much gas and turn it down. So, you know, gas operated stuff is like a lot safer because if you're shooting hot rounds, it's, you know, it's not going to explode in your face because it's not prepared. And if you're shooting really weak rounds, you can just turn it. You can just open the gas valve up so that it gets more power back to your cycle.
Yeah.
I've been here for, I'll turn the heat up. Jesus. But yeah, the Makarov is like tube, slide, handle, trigger, hammer, and magazine. Like, that's it. There's like nothing special to it, whereas like a fucking Glock is like springs and pulleys and levers and fucking tilting, free-floating barrel and like all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
Makarov go brrrr. Glock is, yes, the ammunition hath been fired, good sir. As far as like the complexity of the fucking inner workings go. I don't know, I always thought blowback was really cool, but it's also like pretty fucking dangerous if you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Or if you get like some cheaply manufactured blowback pistol on discount, be wary of that shit, bro. That thing's gonna fly back and hit you in the teeth.
Oof.
I mean, like, the good part is that you're most likely not gonna get hurt as bad as if the bullet hit you, because the slide has more mass, so it's not getting up to the same amount of speed from, you know, what is supposed to, like, shoot a 30-grain bullet. You know, you're instead slapping off, like, a 200-grain slide. It's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna have as much, like, speed, but it'll have a lot more inertia.
Yeah.
And then, like, another thing that, could fucking happen if, say your blowback or your gas tuning is off, is you can get your, you can have not enough gas, putting pressure on the bullet, and then the bullet will get stuck in the barrel, but you don't know that because it seemed like everything went fine and it shot. But then you load up the next round and then you shoot it and your gun turns into a fucking hand grenade.
Yeah.
There was fucking, I think it was a Forgotten Weapons video where they sawed in half this barrel of this gun because they realized there was a stoppage in it that they couldn't clear. Like, somebody was like shooting it and they were like, I'm not hitting anything, I don't know where my bullets are going, and like now I can't load another round in the chamber. And so they sawed the barrel in half and there was like 12 bullets ass to mouth in the barrels, plugging it up. And he was like, I don't know how this didn't explode in your hands. Like, you're fucking lucky that all that gas went somewhere instead of just fucking popping your gun open in your face. Fucking love guns, dude. I really wish I could be like a gunsmith or work in a gun factory or something like that. I just think they're so fucking, like, cool, like, how much crazy shit, like, people had to, like, think of and go through in order to, like, make modern weapons work the way they do, and, like, I was talking to Victor earlier about how they've slowly become obsessed with, like, guns that were made between, like, the 1860s and, like, 1900, because it was, like, the biggest revolution in firearms that we had, like, since firearms had ever been created, and we still haven't done shit